Hey guys, Demoman here, and I'd like to talk to you about Star Citizen roles. So let's move on to the passenger transport role, which is a really interesting one indeed. Maybe you watched my last video on mining and you thought, oh, it's a bit risky. let's have a look at passenger transport. Right, so in passenger transport, first of all, let's start off with, starting a career. First of all, you're gonna need a license, and you're gonna need to pay credits for this license. Also, you're gonna need no prior piratey or criminal activities on your record, because if you do, need not apply, because you're not gonna get in. You're not gonna get that license if you have any form of criminal activity on your record. It's for upstanding citizens only. So for any of you pirate cutlass pilots out there with your devilish crew thinking, oh, we're just gonna buy a Starliner and then we can fly people around, and when we get bored we can just ransom them. It's not gonna work that way. It'll show on your record. And it's gonna be something you're gonna wanna take pride in also in this role, which is your record, because you're gonna get a reputation when you're flying these ships around and working on board of these ships as well. Hell, even if you're just like, say, a flight attendant or the engineer or something like this, it's gonna, it'll look pretty impressive on your resume in-game to have, like an upstanding record aboard a passenger transport vessel. It means you know how to keep people alive and to keep the ship running in a luxury condition, which is actually a lot harder than just making it run normally. You're gonna have to have all sorts of worries, which I'll get into in a minute. So, also, you're gonna need a special type of ship, such as a Starliner for the job. So, Genesis Starliner is the beginning in the whole passenger transport thing. Maybe you can do it with a couple of other ships that have been modified with crew quarters and stuff aboard, but I'm not sure. I think that'll be more like Firefly, you pick up random people here and there, most likely players. But I think if you want to do it properly and have a career in this, you're going to need a Genesis Starliner, which is going to be an expensive ship, and you'll probably be buying one with like really low-end modules. And then as you work up, as you work your way through, you'll be able to upgrade them. Think of it like this. You're buying a really used up old bus. And what you need to do is get better shocks on there, better engine, better wheels, more luxury seats and things like that. That's basically how you're going to build your Starliner up as you go on. So let's talk about now, the stuff you're going to have to work out when you're flying around in your Starliner. So obviously, I've told you about your reputation. Your reputation is going to entail things like ride quality for your passengers, how, what they were served when they were flying, were they well looked after, and all that sort of stuff. That's very important. You're going to have to worry about that. Now, in following to that, let's talk about the ICES system, or the ICE system. The ICE system is an acronym for Information Communication Entertainment System. What this basically does is, it's like a computer server type thing that lets people watch, stuff that's on their hologram projector thing, like lets them watch stuff on the spectrum, like TV, all that sort of stuff. And it plays a huge role in a passenger's enjoyment of the flight. And the problem is with this system is they're prone to failing. And let's say when you just get your Starliner and you get this really cheap thing, you plug it in, and it's your first ICE system. You're going to need a good engineer to make up for, well, the crappiness of this, because it's going to break down on you all the time. It's going to fail mid-flight, and you're going to need that engineer to be able to swap those parts out, get it working again in a flash, because, no one wants grumpy passengers and bad reviews. Also, let's now move on to the Mixmaster. The Mixmaster is one of my favorite things in Star Citizen. I just love the idea of this. It's basically a drink making machine where you mix different beverages together, and you have a series of buttons all the way from 1 to 8 where you can mix a formula, and there's all different settings and stuff for this thing, and you mix drinks for people, because during the flight people are going to require different meals and different drinks during the flight. Someone might require something like, let's make up a drink here, the blue laser drink. And you don't want to be serving them something like I don't know, Orange Jawa. I'm coming up with names here for these drinks because I don't know the official drink names. So let's say you're mixing the drinks in the Mixmaster and you don't know what you're doing. They'll like, oh, I'll have a blue laser, please, and then you'll show up with like a green Jawa, you know, and they'll be like, this is not what I ordered, you know, and then you'll have to go back and spend more resources. Also, the machine itself can break down, so you're gonna need to be able to repair that as well. It's gonna be completely unique. Each time it's gonna be different. There's nearly no repetition in any of these tasks aboard this ship. And these are just little roles for the flight attendants. These are not the main roles of flying the ship. Because when you're flying the ship, you can have all sorts of things to worry about. With the power management, when you're flying it, you're going to have to worry about, you know, fuel, flying economically, worrying about weather patterns up ahead. All sorts of crazy things. Especially when you get into planets' atmospheres. Because, you know, a freak sandstorm, as you saw in the Planets V2 demo, could really make all the difference during the flight. Especially with something the size of a Starliner. So let's continue here. So the Mixmaster is the drinks making machine, and it's awesome. It's going to be a fun mini game, and so is the ICE system. So that's ICES system, the Information Communication Entertainment System. That's going to be good fun. The Mixmaster is going to be great. Also, you can customize and upgrade these. So say you've been doing this for a little while, you made a little profit, you put it aside. Yeah, sure, you could save money for that, you know, new ship you've been wanting, or you can upgrade the little things on your Starliner, such as your Mixmaster and your ICE system, so they don't break down as much. So it's like, you know, better entertainment. It projects the entertainment better for the people, like better projectors on it. All sorts of little things here and there. Also, aboard your passenger transport ships, you're gonna have to worry about medical treatment, because people could start to die aboard a flight. Someone could be allergic to something, like, you know, they might order a blue laser, never had one before, and they could be allergic. And they could have like an adverse reaction where they literally keel over, and you're going to need to revive them. That's going to be good fun. Not for them, obviously, but, you know, for the little tasks aboard the ship to break up the monotony. So, let's talk about the medical equipment. So, every passenger transport ship is equipped with at least one medical supply cabinet, which contains some basic diagnostic equipment, and that sort of stuff. Care must be taken, like, you know what I mean. Also, you're gonna have to worry about giving people the wrong kind of medicine. You know, it'll be like, oh man, you know, what is it? I've given this guy like the wrong kind of antidote. You know, I've given him the alien spider bite antidote instead of the blue laser antidote, and now he's dead for sure. You know, that would be dreadful. So with your flight attendants, whether they're NPC or player, you're gonna need to take extra special care in picking them for their things. Everyone's gonna be a rookie at the start of the game, but it'll be cool, you know. You could make new friends this way. Like if you do bring friends with you, say there's a group of you and you get a Starliner together, and you know, like one guy's like, oh, I want to be the medic, I want to be the guy that runs the entertainment system, and I want to be the guy that serves the drinks, you know, or girls, you know, you could have a full girl staff, you know, a full girl team. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, you know, that I guarantee you have lots of passengers. But yeah, the thing is, let's move on to, like, you know, your flight attendants and what they're gonna look like. You know, your Starliner crew, they're gonna have to look the part, and I'll put a picture of that up there. They're gonna have to have, you know, cool threads on them, you know, to make them look, you know, I don't want to say the word swag, I'm not a fan of it, but, you know, they're gonna make them look cool. But yeah. Let's say now also, you know, like the kind of things that the job's going to entail for the pilot, and this is including the crew, with everyone working together. You're going to need to worry about deadlines. You're going to need to, first of all, when you have all the basics nailed down, and you've got your ship, you've got your license, you're going to need to land in a designated civilian transport landing pad zone. You then land, you then look through the destinations, like the jobs, and you say, right, we will take this job, you know what I mean? We'll fly from here to here, and, I'll play some audio for you. Here we go.
The New York City Transit Bureau would like to remind all non-citizens to fill out a travel info card before heading to security clearance.
Greetings, passengers. Welcome to your Meridian Transit in-system flight to Mars. We're going to be delayed just a few minutes here at the LZ, but we're going to try to make that time up as soon as we pass the moon, and we hope to have you in Port Rotanus on schedule. So just sit back, and I'll keep you updated once we reach cruising quantum speeds. Hello there, this is your captain speaking. Happy to report that the tower has just given us the green, so we're about to get heading on to Castra 2. The crew, my co-pilot, and myself are going to see to it that you have as comfortable a journey to Sherman as possible. Of course, with this new Genesis Starliner, that shouldn't be too hard. Thank you, and welcome aboard. Well, folks, little bit of bad news. It seems that one of the jumps on our way to Crusader is a little bit backed up. Probably all that traffic from people looking to buy themselves one of these here new Genesis Starliners. In the meanwhile, we here in the cockpit are working with the Meridian Transit Flight Tower to see if we can't get ourselves through a secondary jump to Stanton, and maybe manage to get you all into Orison a little bit closer to schedule. I'll keep you updated as I find out more.
That should basically give you an idea of the type of, things that'll be going on. When you accept a mission, there'll be, in the air or the starport, there'll be people going, oh, we'll take that trip, we'll take that trip there, please. And you gotta make sure you don't land late. Because if you land late, then people are gonna be angry. Because it's like with a real flight. If you land late, then maybe the coach is gone. Or, the shuttle that takes them from the ship to the hotel or whatever is not going to be there for them. So you're going to need to arrive either early or on time. I mean, that's what boosts your reputation with these sorts of things. You can charge, you can choose what kind of routes you want to do. You can do a route that everybody does and get very little money for lots of passengers and flying constantly, which could be a real drag, because you could be doing this, making nearly no profit doing each one of these flights, and you're going to need to do lots and lots of flights on a well-known route to make any real money. Or you can do a flight which is not many people do, might be a little bit more risky, and make really good profit and have to do very few flights. Hell, you could do loads of flights on those routes and make tons of money. You see, there's lots of different things you can do with your Starliner. You got to think of it more like you're a freelance Boeing 747 that can go to any airport. Like for nowadays example, imagine you're a Boeing 747 pilot, you got access to all the airports, you choose the trips you do, and if you do trips that are flown all the time, you're gonna have to lower your ticket prices to be able to compete. But if you do trips to places that nearly no one else goes to, you can drive up the prices of those tickets and make more of a profit. So that's the stuff. And your reputation will mean you either get a trickle of people coming in, very few passengers. Maybe if you're new, you'll have very few passengers. But if you have a great reputation, people will go, hey, that's like Ace, what's his name? And people will go, yeah, I know that guy. Let's go with him because his company and his crew are the best. His flight attendants are awesome. And then everyone will go onto that ship, and then you'll make tons of money if you have a good reputation. If you have a bad reputation, you could eventually kill your career. No one will ride with you because, your last passengers all died. You left the door open or something like that. But yeah, you're going to need to worry about other things as well when flying these ships, is weather, like adverse weather. So you'll be flying along, you've picked one of these faraway locations, and you're going down. All of a sudden, really intense lightning storms and all sorts of stuff might interfere with some of the radio equipment and that sort of stuff, and then you have to worry about sandstorms and things like this, or blizzard, and all these sorts of things, because you can't just say, oh, we're going to be delayed, because if you want to keep that reputation, you're going to need to go right through it, and you're going to need to keep your passengers safe. So this is where upgrades to your ship come in, where you have better parts on board your ship. That means, better sleeping cabins, quantum stabilizers to minimize the vibration, induced nausea passengers might feel, all that sort of stuff. You're going to need to also worry about different classes aboard your ship. So first, second, third class. First class people need to be, managed and looked after first, but don't forget about the people in third class. They're going to need to be attended to as well. So the flight attendants, whether NPC or player, are going to be running around quite a lot, and they'll be constantly doing things. So if you're thinking of, I wouldn't mind getting a job up on a Starliner, but you don't want to be the pilot, so you don't have to worry about the expense of the ship, then you might just want to be the flight attendant, you know what I mean? And then earn a lot of credits that way. That'd be a pretty cool way to see the verse, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's pretty much passenger transport wrapped up. You might be able to do passenger transport of other vessels as well, say like an 890 jump for extreme VIPs. They'll probably be players, or maybe a specific NPC character that will want to go from A to B might only want to travel in an 890 jump, or a Constellation Phoenix. You see, there's all these other aspects of this that are coming in. As soon as I get more information on this, I will post another video on it, like an update to this. But yeah, for now, this is passenger transport. There's many things you can do. Every little role has, like, you know, an importance to it in this process. I'll be looking forward to it when it comes out. You know, I'm really looking forward to it. To be honest, I'll be looking forward to escorting a bunch of these Starliners out of a, like, say they're trying to do a planet-wide evacuation because the Vandul are coming. It would be cool to protect these Starliners as they're trying to leave. Well, only the most, you know, skilled crews and pilots of these Starliners are the ones who are taking these missions. But yeah, that would be awesome. Thank you for watching, folks. This has been another video. And as always, guys, thank you so much for subscribing and liking. It really does help. I do all this for free. I don't have a Patreon, as you know. So yeah. As always, folks, fly safe, Commanders, and I'll see you in the verse.